Hey guys, my name's Mark, as Bobby was saying there, and little waves. And I'm a performance and purpose coach, which sounds a bit fluffy, but essentially speak with people about what they're wanting to do in their life and hoping to achieve in their life, and try and give them a little bit more direction and have a little bit more of a purposeful existence, I suppose, which can be literal or it can be a little bit deeper. So I've known Bobby for, I reckon, a year and a half, Bob, maybe 2 years. 2 years. I've known him for 2 years. So yeah, it was a funny one. I was actually getting my hair cut by a friend of mine who trained with Bobby, and then I started training with him as well. So yeah, we've been friends for a while, and then he worked with me on some of the stuff that I do in my business as well. So one of the things I do is have a podcast called Take Flight, which is where I speak with peak performers who might be athletes or entrepreneurs, or they could be from more of a spiritual background, like yoga teachers, meditation experts, stuff like that. And myself and Bobby produced some footage with some of the athletes specifically. And yeah, I mean, you guys will know if you've seen any of his content, he's brilliant at doing that. So really pleased to be chatting with you guys today. I'm actually going to leave you off mute so we can just chat while we go along. But today, all you're going to need is pen and paper. So Sean, while you're on your spin bike there, I mean, you could even either do it afterwards. We can send pictures or something, but I don't know how you want to do it, but you can do it afterwards and just listen in. But for everybody else, if you have a pen and paper handy, then that's great, and I'll talk you through what the exercise is. Thumbs up, everyone's good? Everyone's got pen and paper at the ready? Cool. So it's an exercise called the Wheel of Life, and it's something that's a really, really, really simple exercise to do. Takes literally no time at all, but a really effective exercise to do. But it's one of those things that's like almost so easy that it's easier not to do it. But every time I do it, and I try and do it the first of every month, I always come away from that sort of 10 minutes with a little bit of a clearer understanding of where I am today, and a much better understanding of where I'm going as well, which is so important because we get swept up in different things all the time. Particularly important is, you know, the situation that we're in at the moment. We've got a real chance to reflect on where we are. So yeah, it's a really good exercise for us to do that today. So what we're going to do is start off by drawing a nice big circle in the middle of your page. And then split your circle. I might just put you guys on mute, but that got a bit of feedback there. Split your circle into 7 triangles or pieces, like pizza pieces. Which is annoying because 6 would be so much easier, but split it into 7. And the 7 triangles or pizza slices are your 7 equities, the 7 equities of your life that are the most important thing to be taking care of and paying attention to. So the first 3 sections, I want you to label on the outside of the circle is mind, body, and spirit. So these are the things that we own. These are the things that we have. These are the things that we are. This is our most important 3 things: is mind, body, and spirit. This is what we have complete control over. All good? Moving on to the next 2, this is your community. These are the people who surround you, the people who influence you so much, and that's your friends and your family. So they're the next 2 triangles. So again, on the outside of your circle, label that friends and family. And then the final 2 pieces are, everybody all right? Cool. The final 2 pieces are career and finance. This is where a lot of our ambitions go into. These are where a lot of our goals are set. So label those final 2 friends and family, and you should have a circle that looks something like this. All good? Cool. So now we're going to go through each section and we're going to label where we are today, how we feel about that. So the middle of the circle being 0 and the edge, the outside of the circle being 10. I want you to start with mind and start to think about how you feel mentally at the moment. Are you feeling particularly mentally tough? Are you in a good place? Are you happy? Start to think a little bit about that. If you don't know immediately, try and grade off instinct. If you don't know immediately, just sit there for a moment. I'll give you a bit of time just to think about how you are in your mindset at the moment. So again, grading between 0 and 10, 0 being really bad and 10 being amazing. And what I want you to do is draw a line across the pizza slice. So if you see there a mind, it would look something like that. And that is if I'm going to grade that as an example as a 5, and then just shade that in like so. Moving on to the next slice is body. How do we feel in our body? Are we feeling fit? Are we feeling healthy? I hope so if you're doing all of Bobby's classes. Are there any niggling injuries that you're working with? Are you feeling fatigued? Do you feel energized? So again, just sitting in your body, feel how you feel today, and going again from 0 to 10, 0 being bad, 10 being really great, amazing, the best it could possibly be. And again, just drawing that line in between 1 and 10, shade it in and put the number there. Moving on to the next one. So the next one's spirit. This is a particularly difficult one to grade because spirit can be so many different things, like your soul or whatever, however you want to look at that. But generally speaking, what I do is I'll look at things like how frequently I'm meditating. Again, linking back into mind and body, often those two things affect your spirit. So whatever you think that is, get in touch with yourself. If you are a religious person, it might be you going to church. Are you doing the things that you feel you should be doing? Often spirit can be, are you living in alignment with who you think you are? Are you living by the values that you find important? So it's a little bit of a difficult one. So just take a few seconds to sit with that and think how you're feeling spiritually at the moment. And then same thing again, drawing that line across when you decided where you are between 0 and 10, shading it in. Next section is a bit of an easier one, pretty self-explanatory, but looking into both friends and family, deciding where you feel you are at the moment. So again, grading between 0 and 10, drawing the line across. Do you feel like you're seeing your friends? Are you being supportive with your friends? Are you speaking to them frequently enough? Obviously, we can't see each other at the moment, but are you checking in with people that are important to you? Are you giving them time? And then same thing with your family. How's everyone getting on? All good? Thumbs up. Okay, so moving on to the last two sections. So as I was saying before, this is generally speaking more about your work life. So thinking about the career that you have, again, between 0 and 10, grading that. So how do you feel about the job that you're in? How do you feel about the job title that you might own at the moment? Does it feel like the thing that you wanted to do? Are you satisfied? Are you fulfilled with what you're doing? Are you challenged? Are you bored? So thinking about all these things, when you think about the job that you're doing, how does it make you feel at the moment? And again, these are things that you might not have given any attention to. You might have perhaps been coasting in various parts in your life and haven't even thought about these things, but it's important to give time to think about whether or not you want to be doing the thing you're doing. Moving into the last section, finance, really easy. Are you happy where you are financially? Do you want to be earning more? Do you have a handle on your finances? So many of us understand how much is coming in, but do we know how much is going out? Are you stressed about money? Is it something that you worry about all the time, or are you okay? So grading that again between 0 and 10. Shading it in and putting the number there. Now, this is for your own reference, guys. And as I said, I do this at the beginning of every month. And it's just an opportunity to reflect on what's happened before. And then I look at this because it gives me a bird's eye view of my entire life and allows me to get a little bit more focus on the things that I want to do moving forward. And that's how I start to set goals. But if you look at this, you just mapped out where you are today. Put a date and a time at the top of the page. So when you look back at this, you can remember that, you know, when you were a 3 in mind on whatever we are, the 27th, the month later, you were suddenly at 7. The goals that you put in place were the thing that impacted that. So the metaphor that goes along with this, just take a moment to look at the bigger picture. The metaphor that goes along with this is when you're driving along in a car, imagine that this is the front wheel. So the wheel that you just mapped out and drew in front and shaded in is the front wheel of that car. If you're in balance in your life and you've got a pretty even circle, quite a smooth circle, then it's going to be a relatively smooth ride and you're going to be in a good place. So if you've got lots of 8s all around the circle, then it's, you know, it's a smooth ride, you're in a good place. If you're all over the place, you've got 3s, 2s, 7s, 9s, 8s, then you're out of balance and it's going to be more of a bumpy ride. And as you're looking at your circle, just take a moment to think about why that might be the case, if that is the case. And you can start to link the obvious things together. Like, you know, a classic one is people can be particularly high on finance and career. And often when that happens, it can be particularly low in friends and family because all your time is spent in business and chasing, you know, often these monetary goals or materialistic goals. And if that was the case, then it's really obvious you just need to be spending more time with your family and friends and setting goals around that. Similarly, you could be doing vice versa and have no money in your bank and 10 on friends, which can be great and fun, but you need to be thinking about how you can get more in balance. Everyone good? Everyone got that? Cool. So I know you did a really great goal setting exercise last week, and that's it. That is literally the exercise. It's the most simple thing ever. It takes 5 minutes, but it's just a really easy opportunity to go, right, that's where I stand today. Good. Now what am I going to focus on for the next month? So typically what I would do then, another example, if my spirit was really low, then I'll be making sure I was setting really good meditation goals for the month ahead. I'm making sure I was trying to meditate 5 times in the morning as an example. Or physically, if the pizza slice on body was really low, I'd be setting really high exercise goals. So I'm just going to unmute you guys and just have a chance to just generally chat, connect, ask any questions on this or anything else as well.